I was gonna wait just a couple seconds. Okay, just kidding. Hello, everybody. Welcome to LadyT. Let's talk about it. I am LadyT, and this is LadyT. Let's talk about it. Before I said I do, or before you say I do, we have a lot of engagements coming, marriages happening. It's the season of love. So I have a whole panel who knows about love. Okay? So I want to welcome my panel. Thank you guys on the front end for spending time with me, sitting on my couch, and engaging with the people. And I hope that not only will this open up some people's eyes, start dialogue, but we're going to have a darn good time, okay? Because these people right here, they funny. So, starting to my left, I'm going to have the couples introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Justin. We're the Thomases. We've been married about a year and a half now.
Oh, y'all already know. We got to have a little something to see.
Every time. And my name is Dorothy.
My name's Reggie. We've been married for 37 years.
Okay. That's like long love.
Forever love.
My name is Jocelyn.
I'm Shayna. We've been married for 8 years.
8 years. That's good stuff. So we have, how long did you say you've been married there?
A year and a half.
Year and a half.
We're getting there.
We have 30 plus years. Then we have almost 10 years. So we got a lot of different kind of love on this couch.
Almost 10 sounds very different.
Very right.
I mean, you basically rounded up. You rounded up.
You're right. I'm not disagreeing. It sounded very different.
Okay, so since y'all's love sounds a little different, tell me, and I like this couple, tell me how you met. Let the people know how you met.
Well, we met in church.
Praise the Lord.
Was a member of the church and I joined. But we met for the first time. I saw her in church, but we met and chatted for the first time. We were in a play together, a gospel play, and she was the entire soprano section.
Okay.
Which I found to be very impressive. And that's how we met initially. She didn't like me at first. I offended her because I assumed that she was a music major because she was singing. I knew she was in college. And she told me she was going to a school that is not known for music. And I was like, why are you going there for music? And she was like, I'm not a music major. I was like, I'm so sorry. She was mad. She was
But the best relationships are made when you don't like each other at the beginning.
I liked her though. It wasn't each other. It was her.
Sometimes the best relationships on one side as well.
It's true. It's true. We regrouped though about a month or so later. And yeah, there we go.
Okay. So we met at church. Didn't quite vibe at first. Next couple, how did you meet?
We met at a church picnic. Yeah.
Why you say it so hard?
I said it so hard. You know, he was a young soldier and extremely hungry.
So you started off cooking?
No, I wasn't cooking.
No, she cooked.
He came to our church picnic and tried to eat up all our food. He was not a member of our church.
So where did you go?
So and then, you know, we was at the picnic, we rode around a little train. You know, was like straight up. Crazy somebody my cars. I didn't really like him first. You know? And then he used to come see me, and not see me. He actually used to let his friend borrow his car to come see my sister. But he didn't trust his friend to drive his car. So he would drive his friend to my house to see my sister. His friend and my sister would go off on whatever they were doing, and he would sit in our living room.
But in defense, me and her mother, when I came over there, my friend visited her sister,
Okay.
we would sit and talk for a while.
My mother loved him.
And
Okay.
her mother would say, hey, why don't you cook him some dinner?
That's what she said.
And she was mad.
Because he was always just hungry. Started out with food. He was just hungry.
Okay.
I was a runner.
So we bonded over food,
We bonded over
fellowship,
fellowship.
okay, talents
Yes.
on the other side.
Yes.
So for the Thomases, how did you all meet?
What we told you. Okay. So I mean, we met in middle school. So
So cute.
I mean, that was amazing.
That's so sweet. Love it.
Like 7th grade middle school?
Like 6th grade.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Y'all was like freshman school.
Well, I mean, we met, we didn't date, so
Okay.
there's a difference. But really, what happened was we had the same class together, and we rode the bus together.
Okay.
So there's a funny story in that. Mom, okay.
But I feel like, because I've heard the story, so I feel like both of you have to tell your side.
I'm gonna let him tell it.
Okay.
I'll fill it in if he misses
Okay.
some stuff.
So, so obviously, I'm not the same man I was in middle school. I wasn't even a man. So, but we rode the same bus together. So one day on the bus, I was about to get off my stop.
Okay.
And then as I was getting off the stop, somebody at the back of the bus said, "Hey, Justin, Ashley likes you. Ashley has a crush on you." I turned around and I had a bad look on my face. I had like a stank face. I was like, "Ugh," you know.
I mean, it's middle school. Girls still got cooties.
Right. But so that's how it started. But at this deep down, I had feelings for her, but I was too. Yeah,
in
it's-
middle school.
yeah.
He knew it. He said that's
But
what
I was too cool to admit, I like it too. But yeah. So what was your version?
Same.
Okay,
That was it. So
okay.
he got the good point.
Right.
And then we started dating.
And then yeah, I did fix it. But and then in high school, yeah,
You went to high school together too?
yeah, we went to high school. together.
Yeah, so we started dating in 10th grade,
Mhm.
and then we did it throughout high school, and then went to 2 different colleges, dating throughout that.
So what colleges did you all go to?
I went to UVA. He went to
Okay. So
But-
you had a little distant.
But when I would go home for like breaks,
Okay.
he would be there. And our parents still live like 15 minutes away from each other. So.
Okay. So that y'all was set up from the get go.
Right.
Listen,
So
so
how long have y'all been together? Like as a
10
10
years.
10 years.
Yeah.
wow.
No,
Wow.
6th grade. That's 2006.
No, as a couple, I'm saying.
Oh, as a couple.
listen,
10 years
they
ago.
trying
As
to
a
get
couple.
child bracket. Let me.
Yeah.
No, we dated in 2010. So that's 8.
Sorry,
Not
9
9
years.
years, 9
ago.
years.
9 years.
Years.
9 years.
Listen, I feel like once you get past 5, it do get a little blurry.
Okay.
But I'm in a relationship.
You
with
sprinkle
Sam,
child
so-
and you move on. Okay. Oh my God.
Listen, I've been in a relationship since the sandbox, so this is good for me. I feel like I've passed middle school, so I can't have this one right here. Past high school, still can't have them right here. Y'all met later in life, so I maybe had the Lockharts, like, I maybe somebody Lockhart, okay? So I know you guys have talked about how long you've known each other. So the other two couples, how long have you actually known each other?
We've known each other for 39 years.
30.
39 years.
Okay.
39 years.
I think I'm past that one too.
Yeah.
So the other couple, how long have y'all known each other?
For 11 years.
11 years? Okay. Good stuff. And what made you know that that person was the one? So we're talking about marriage. We, kind of dibble-dabble in the relationship side. How did you know that was the one? I think I'm going to ask the guys first.
For me, I knew
Fed
that.
you?
No. That was good though. That was good. For me, that I was in Germany. We had decided that she would go to college and I'd go to Germany. And that was a sign in Germany that when we come back, once she finished college, we'd be back. But I found when I got to Germany that my life wasn't the same. I couldn't go further in my life without her. She was my purpose. And so I knew right then that she was
I'm going to find me somebody who think I made practice. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
So I knew that he was the
Let's
one
do it.
when he almost was gone. Oh, you said me
We
first.
was doing the man first. She was ready.
I was ready. I was ready.
She knew that was the one. Because it's love pushing this whole thing. Go ahead and say how you knew that he was the one.
Because I was really mean to him, like he said earlier. Really, I was. Like, I didn't like him. I didn't think I liked him. Like he said earlier, my mother would say, Dorothy, go talk to him. Because he would just come and sit nicely in our living room while my sister and his friend did what they did. And he would just sit there. And, y'all know we've been married 30 years, so we came up in that era back in the day where you had the living room and then you had the other room. You couldn't go to the living room. So he was sitting in our living room And my mom would say, go fix him some food, go give him some water, go do this, go do that. And I was like, I'm sick of this person, this boy, coming. And I always want something. Well, he had an issue in his life and he had to go on emergency leave. And he stopped coming. And he didn't come for like a month. And I thought it was over. I said, well, my mama told me every day, see, you shouldn't have been mean to that boy. And he would have came back and talked to you. And you so mean, you just push everybody away and everything. I was like, okay, mama, I got it. And then all of a sudden one day, he came to my house and I wasn't at home. And I came home and he was there. I was like, oh my God, he's back. I'm not gonna miss this time. I love him. And I came in the house and I gave him a hug and he looked at me like,
I was shocked.
is this the same person?
Who is this?
And I said, I'm so glad you came back to see me. And he said, yeah, I've been here talking to your mother. And I thought, did you go back to see my mother? Did you go back to see me? But I knew then that he was
He was the one?
He was the one.
Listen, I love it. So, sir, how did you know that this one right here was your one?
I had a couple of issues. I think what's on my mind now is we have been dating for about maybe 2 months or so. Kind of inseparable since we started dating. And I'm gonna get to that. And Shannon was working at the bank. She's a very giving person, very loving person. And one of her coworkers was very ill. And they asked her, a coworker, asked her for her kidney. And she was seriously considering giving him her kidney.
So do you still have 2 kidneys?
She didn't. But she was talking to me about this, and I got so mad, like just crazy, man. You know how you mad and you going off on somebody, and you're like, you are really going off right now. Why are you so upset? Like in your inner voice is like, you should really calm down. Like you are really doing a lot. But I was hot. Like mad, like, and she was like, well, I'm just gonna go, and she just sat up there wanting me to go get checked out, go get blood tests and all this stuff. And I was like, let's just talk about this later. Let's just talk about this later. And I got off the phone and I was like, okay, clearly I feel a lot more about her because I was
caring about her organs.
Really? But that was an indicator to me that she meant much more to me than I wanted to believe because the time of my life felt like love was very inconvenient. And so I was really not interested in feeling that way, but I could not help it. And so I talked her out of doing that because this is a coworker. And I'm gonna need him to do. I need him to do something. I'm sorry. I just need us to be a bit closer before we get to share our organs with the world. And I hope that's not wrong. I don't want nobody to be offended. God bless him. He's alive today. Isn't God good?
Amen.
So did he get another kidney?
He did.
So you're okay with him getting another kidney?
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly. Like I just like let's pray for him together.
That is, well, I'm so proud of whoever it is. They're probably single because the spouse don't want no kidneys being given around. That's cute though. That's cute.
It's true.
So, Justin, how did you know Ashley was a boy?
Well, I'm gonna take it back to high school and then transition it into college. So for high school, I feel like I was the guy, like I was captain of the basketball team.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Wow.
I'm gonna get to that. Like captain of the basketball team, baseball team, sports guy, just kind of.
Okay, you was that guy.
Right. But the thing about it is, Ashley didn't even care about all of that. Despite all of those, the titles, the accolades, she looked past that and was really more concerned about me. And, I did date a few girls for like a week or 2 weeks in middle school and high school. In middle school and high school, but like
Slut.
Right. But yeah, so I realized she was a lot different than those girls.
Okay, I mean you gotta test the pool, test the water.
Right.
So
No, you don't.
And honestly, she was somebody that was so much more mature than all the other girls, and and also to the point where I said about just her looking past all the popularity. And I thought to myself that's somebody that I need to really keep and do my best to pursue. So even in college as well, we stayed together in college, and we really grew in terms of just our communication because we were two different places, and they say distance grows a heart fonder. Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Like that.
And so I really felt that our bond and our relationship grew stronger in college, and I knew from there that was when it's time to take it serious.
Okay.
So
Good stuff. And this is my question. With you all being one of the younger couples on the couch this time, just how you said, you knew that Ashley was somebody to keep around because she saw you pass your titles, your accolades, all that good stuff. How do you, and this is one that I always ask for anything dealing with relationships, how do you keep her around without friend zoning her? So I think that's a big thing in our generation. Like, we have somebody of quality, who thinks past anything else. How do you keep somebody in your life like that without, like I said, getting into that friend zone area?
So you're saying how do you keep somebody like that without them viewing you as a friend, or?
Yes, without viewing you as a friend, so that all right, we're still building, right? We're still building from high school and stuff like that. How do you keep a solid person in your life and know that you want a future with that person with all of the stuff that you had going on? So with all of the sports, the other females, college.
Yeah, I think it takes just straight, honest communication to communicate about your intentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times I feel like the communication piece is missing, to where you talk a good game, but you don't back it up with actions as well. So, for me, it's like communicating like, hey, I know we're going to different colleges. I know we have different paths right now, but my intentions are I want to pursue you. I want a future with you. And then, just continuing to communicate from there to figure out how you two can eventually come together in marriage one day. But it really takes communication about your intentions and being true to it.
Can I say that's the best answer that I've had for that question? I appreciate that. So now to the ladies, how did you know that this was the one for you? Because I feel like women, it's a lot easier for us to friend zone somebody who sticks around when we're mean to them, who, if I had somebody who was like that guy in school, I'd be like, nah. With everybody that we have, how did you know that that was somebody that you would spend your life with?
I guess for me, I appreciated Justin's respect for me. He was just a very different young man in the way that he thought he should treat me, the things that he should do. And then also when we went to college, like he was saying, his intentionality and saying like, no, our plan is to try to stay together. Our plan is to do this thing even though we were two different. So even though we weren't terribly far away, but he was serious about that. And that as it progressed throughout college, I was like, this could work out.
Okay.
And then also just years of just being with them. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So I knew Jocelyn was the one for me because there was one Sunday Bishop called him up and asked Jocelyn to sing, and Jocelyn sang and gave her testimony. And the thing that I loved was that he wasn't really concerned about anybody. Like, he really loved God. And that was his desire. Like, he was screaming and running across the stage and shouting and so open. And it really wasn't about anybody being there. It was really pure worship. And I was like, okay. Yeah, like I knew that that's what I wanted. That's who I wanted in my life. And yeah.
It's a very embarrassing moment for me when I think about it.
So for the men, talking about that proposal time, and I can't even say moment, because I feel like for the guys, it's a whole situation when y'all go into proposing. What led you to decide to propose? how did that proposal look like? Or what did that proposal look like? Okay, so Shayla said, go, go, go. Let's hear that proposal story.
So we've been talking about getting married. I mean, we were very clear that we were going to get married, and we were in a singing group, and the group went on tour in Italy. As an opera singer. I mean, I loved opera and I knew all about Italy and I was very excited about going to Italy. And I just felt like it was like a once in a lifetime chance to propose on stage in Italy. And so I decided to. And I really, it was a faith type deal for me. My father was very upset with me because at the time of my proposal, I was unemployed. He was like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you serious? I'm not going to always be unemployed. But I knew that we were going to get married, and I was not necessarily, I proposed, what drove me to propose at the time was really the time and location, and I knew that it would be a very romantic proposal.
I mean,
and we had
perfect.
But it would be perfect. But we had talked. It was clear that we were getting married. Like, if she had said no, like I would have been in the hospital because we was talking about being married all the time. Like, it was not. But I want to be clear because some guys be like, I really didn't know, and she was going to say yes. No. I was very clear that she wanted to marry me, which is why I was so confident in doing it. But we did at the end of a concert. I had the band play and I sang and.
Yes, he sang I Believe in You. Ooh. And he said he believes in the dreams that God has for us. I agree.
Yes, little bit.
Shayla, were you surprised?
Surprise, yes. I was happy.
So were you happy or were you surprised?
I was surprised that he did it then. Because he was unemployed. He didn't have a job.
So you said all you needed was the testimony that God
Yes. And that's how I knew that God wanted to die for us. Listen, but he didn't have a job. So I was surprised.
Okay, let's be clear. Hold back up. Okay. So I was a bit of an entrepreneur at the time. Okay? I was teaching voice lessons. I was doing, clinics and stuff. I was hustling, right? But I didn't have like a day-to-day. Let's not do that.
But he did. But the Lord has provided.
He has provided.
Yes.
Okay.
He's not hustling no more.
Hallelujah.
Praise God.
Listen, y'all are agreeing on one thing again. I love it. So, Mr. Reggie, what did that proposal look like?
The proposal was.
Were you scared?
No, I was not. We did it at a stoplight.
Oh,
So she didn't know.
a little less romantic than Italy.
She didn't know. I wanted her to know that this was something. I wanted her to know something different, something open, and something public, and just the whole world to know. So I stopped at we was at the stoplight. I had to wait and everything. I jumped out of the car.
Oh,
And I, of course, had the window down. I said, "Will you marry me?" She's in there. Get in the car. Get in the car. The people in other cars. So
was it summer or like?
It was like summer.
Oh, I was about to say.
And so of course, here I go again. Will you marry me? Right?
Like, everybody else was with you.
Get in the car, right? And then I said, I'm not getting it. Will you marry me? Yes or no? Just tell me, right? She said, yes. Get in the car. And I said, yes. So I got in the car, right? She said, oh my God. So then, and I don't know what she was.
Miss Dorothy, were you surprised? What was going through your head when he got out the car?
That he's crazy. Perhaps I should get in the driver's side.
So if you get in the driver's side,
You was gonna get
And I said, oh, okay, please get in the car. Please. Everybody, it was cars. And we were at a stoplight. They had changed a couple times. So there was people behind us, people on the side of us, and he was in front of the car saying, will you marry me?
but listen, did they stop too?
Yeah, they stopped too.
They were ready.
They was all, yeah, say that, yeah. I was like, yes, get in the car. I was so embarrassed, but I didn't know any of those people.
I mean, that's okay.
I didn't know any of them, but I was a little on the embarrassed side because he just, like everybody else, get on your knees. He was on his knees. He was on the knees in front of the car. Yeah, but he was outside in front of the car.
So he was in front or he was on the side?
He was in front. He got in front of the car.
Oh.
With his his ring and said, "Will you marry me?"
Listen, but he crazy for you.
He's still crazy for me because I'm all that. Yeah.
Okay. My ladies, you got to know. I am all of that. Okay. So Justin, how did your proposal look? What's going through your head?
Well, I was definitely nervous for sure.
So even with time, you were nervous.
Yeah, even with time, I was nervous. And to be honest, as far as proposing, because of my personality, I wanted to have everything together. Like I'm still working through my master's degree, so I was gonna wait 2 years after that time to finish my master's degree, to have a house, to have all this stuff before I even propose. But here I am now. I'm still working on my master's degree.
Okay, but you got a strong lady beside you.
Exactly. So so lesson learned. Many lesson in that is you don't have to have everything together. You don't have to have like everything lined up, but you definitely have to have a purpose and intention of what you're doing. But yeah. So as far as the proposal, so she was coming from a trip to Boston. Wait. Yeah. It was. So she was coming from a conference at Boston, and I was gonna take her out to eat. So we tried a place, Zoe's Kitchen. We haven't been there since. No, I haven't been there since.
That's a special place.
Right.
Every now and then you have to pop up.
Yeah. So we went to Zoe's Kitchen, and just the whole time there, I was nervous. I was.
Well, you had to tell me.
I was hoping.
So he proposed to me at like his parents' house. My parents were there. My grandmother, friends from college, they were all there. And I guess they were waiting for the staging to occur. I kind of knew that he was proposing, but I didn't know. Okay. So he took me to Zoe's Kitchen, and he was like leaving every 10 minutes and going to the bathroom. And he would leave me there. Mind you, I was tired just from driving from Boston. So I was tired. He had to go make phone calls, make sure everything was okay. And then I was
Right. So I had to improvise. I had to buy some time because back at home I was
stopping at every store.
Yeah. We stopped at Walmart, stopped at
Target.
You had a whole attitude.
He did. I did. I sat there like this the whole time.
Yeah. So it was just chaos. But we on the way home. This is what you hear what I did.
What you doing? Let me I'll be hyping you.
Yeah, we played our favorite love song. A song like Christian Grey song. Yeah, we played our favorite love song, and it was just a good time. And we got home, we pulled into the driveway, and I held her hand, walking up to the door.
I was looking around looking for cars because I knew people were there.
Yeah, she was looking everywhere. But,
so they weren't right there.
Yeah, we told them to park all the way across the block. Around
everything.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
She's very, very curious.
Yeah.
But she walked into the door. At first, when she opened the door, it was just my mom. Because usually, when my mom's always sitting on her same chair.
Okay.
And so she was expecting
So business as usual.
Yeah, business as usual. So she was expecting people to come up, but as she walked into the living room, into the kitchen area, that's when everybody kept coming up, and then all of a sudden it's like a heat wave, and people would say "surprise," and that's when it hit her because she started shedding a tear, and I see
it was a tear or did you cry?
I did cry.
And then that's when I got on that knee. I said, I said. I said, actually, you are the perfect one for me. I thank God for you every day, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And she said yes.
She said yes. Okay. All that anger. Still say yes. Listen, he knew. He was confident in that.
Right.
So, when talking about the proposal, I had a question from Ron and Rachel Jones. Do you think it's wrong for women to propose? Would any other men on the panel say yes if your wife proposed to you?
Well, no, I would have said.
I
would have said no. I would have. I don't think it's wrong for women to propose. I mean, that's totally between every couple. But I appreciate the traditional aspects of femininity, if you will, and just the traditional aspects of being a man. As a man, I had expected to propose to marriage. And so if she had asked me, I would have said no. But hold on. and I would have had to go back and redo whatever she did to make it better. This is me, though. But I mean, I feel like
So you had to out propose her.
and she had proposed to me. I just feel like for me,
Yeah.
I just feel like me, and I do have this expectation of my own son to prepare to propose to their wives. I just feel like that marriage is the joining of a man and a woman, and the man has the responsibility of covering the woman, and covering the family, and so it needs to be a decision that you are taking on that responsibility. We had this whole issue because she wanted to hyphenate her name, and again, me.
Go get into that.
Me, I said, well, then you're not ready, because that's not what's going to happen with me.
Okay.
But that's me, though, and I have been called all kinds of names because of that when this conversation has come up in public.
What kind of name?
Oh, people get hot.
Yeah.
Oh, ladies get hot.
The thing now is to hyphenate your name.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
why?
People kind of want to. It seems like ladies want to keep their. They want to keep their. I don't know. Maybe identity. Maybe that's it. But keep their name. And the traditional, as Jocelyn said, just to piggyback a little bit off that. And also to answer the question too, do you think it's wrong for? I'm from the old school. And I don't want to get deep, but the Bible says he that findeth a wife.
Find it a good thing.
Find
Okay.
a good thing.
My good thing.
Now, so I'm
Look at me looking all good and whatnot. Keep searching, baby. Keep searching.
But I'm saying, so I feel like, just like going what you just said, I feel like if we read that scripture, that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, we need to make ourselves found. Put ourselves where we can be found.
Avail ourselves.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, avail ourselves to be found. But the whole thing about the woman proposing, why are we rushing? You know, a lot of times when the lady does it, it's like he's never gonna ask me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask him. And it takes away because you didn't give him the opportunity, as Jocelyn said, to be your covering, to do the things that you need for them to do.
Right.
For me, I need to ask a question. And I need to know.
I'm sorry, we got production situations happening.
For me, I need to ask the question because I want to know if she wants to be a part of my life. So I have to ask the question because that's important to me.
Okay.
That she wants to be a part of my life. Her asking me.
It wouldn't sit well.
It doesn't sit well with me. And I'm along with the scripture too. He that findeth a wife. I want to be the provider for her. I want to be everything for her because I look at her as my queen. And so I just have to be a part of my purpose.
Listen, I'm sensitive
So if I could I don't want to do all the talking, but another thing, I would like to, when we have people, ladies, girls, say to me, well, Dorothy, it's like, why are you married? I'm going to keep my name. I always ask why. Shannon asked me that. But this is my son. So she called me one day and she said, Miss Dorothy, would you be upset if I kept my name as Cherry? And I said, it doesn't matter if I'm upset or not. You do what you want to do, but I'm going to ask you why. Sorry. And I'm going to ask you why. And she said, well, I just think I want to keep my name. I said, well, you need to think about why you want to do that. Because when you say I do, you're giving yourself to whoever you marry. So I would ask people who say that they will keep their last name. Why? And there may be reasons, there's lots of reasons. So I've known people to keep their last names if they were older when they got married, and it would cost them more time to change everything over from a financial perspective. But even in that, there should be a time when you are known as just Miss, and that's whatever your husband's name is.
See, I need to get married younger now. I don't need no reasons not to keep this thing. I feel like that's take it.
So, but it's just something that as you go, you think about it. Not saying that it's wrong, but let's think about it. Why? What are you trying to hold on to?
The why. Absolutely. So, Justin, would you What do you think if Ashley were to propose to you?
Where's your eyebrow for?
I don't think I wouldn't.
Yeah. And I think, for just describing the nature of a man, we are pursuers. Our job is to pursue our woman, one woman, to pursue that woman. I think the proposal is a symbol of our pursuit. Like I don't want to say it's the completion of our pursuit because we're constantly pursuing, our loved ones, but it's the essence of pursuing, our lover, saying this is something that is sealing the deal of my pursuit for you as we continue our lives together in marriage. So, to answer your question, I think from my perspective, I feel like it's more right to do proposing as a man.
So you would say that?
No, yeah, I would say no.
No, yeah, I would say that.
But would it be like a strong, like, no, get up, like, come on,
Well,
no.
I think I think we've all kind of said, we all knew we were going to get married. Some people, and this still baffles me, it's just me, when people say, oh, I had no idea he was going to propose, I had no idea I was going to get married. And I'm like, y'all didn't talk about getting married. So, in a sense, like, the proposal is already a yes, it's just a symbol.
Yeah.
So we already decided before I said yes, he knew I was going to marry him. Like, so
you think it's important to talk about marriage before?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
I need to have that conversation.
You can't just jump. And you can't tell your heart with love. When you really love somebody, you're gonna talk about everything. You play a what if game or when we game, when we get married, when we do this. You have to talk about marriage. If you don't talk about it, then you will be surprised.
Yeah.
And it will be a joke. And nothing is really serious. So I'm like Angela, it surprises me too. Over all these years when someone says, I didn't know we were getting married.
Yeah.
That's how do you not know that?
And why would you agree to it if you didn't know?
Right. Why?
So, comment check. We actually have Jocelyn's sister, Tyra, who has commented and said, I am keeping my last name.
That is a very unreliable resource. Let me just tell you.
You are not going to be
I
listening to right
really
now.
don't know that we should consider.
Tyra's thoughts matter. Okay. A
If she
little
married
about-
someone with her same last name as she did, she absolutely should.
That's a shame.
Ugh.
Can I just say one thing about it though?
Yes.
I think it's a trust, and when we talked about it, because every disagreement we ever had ended up in one or both of us crying at midnight, screaming at each other or some way. The issue was trust. Like when we got all the way down to the bottom of it, the issue with the last name was trust. This is a daddy's girl. She talks to her daddy every day. And I've never really felt any competition with him, but it's very clear. I knew from jump, her daddy is always going to be a part of our lives. But it was an issue of trust. Like, as your maiden name, you trust your father. Any issue she had, she went to him immediately and asked her husband. And I'm like, that's supposed to be my role. So if you're not, by me saying I want to marry you, I am saying I'm going to do whatever I have to do so that I can be that for you. And by you taking my name says that you are going to trust me. And so it's an issue of faith and trust. Well, faith for you, so you can believe God for you that you're making the right decision, and trust between us so that it works out. And usually when I have had these conversations with ladies who really struggle with this or really feel very strongly about this, these are people who have concerns of faith and trust. They have real issues at the bottom.
That's a good subject. I've never even thought about it that way. So, I mean, I agree, because as a woman, you do have to trust the men that you're with. And I think as women, we do tend to think about everything, the good, the bad, the whatever. If you get a divorce type thing, like going back to your maiden name or whatever the case may be. So I think that is an important something to know, that it is trust that goes into all of this. So I'm glad that you guys talked about marriage on the front end so that you can get some of these things out. And I'm so glad you took the last name.
Well, the reality of it is with relationships is that sometimes we carry baggage, whether it's abuse or whether it's bad relationships or or whatever. And so we tend as humans to protect ourselves. And so a lot of women, in order to protect themselves, I'll keep that name. And it's about faith. It's about commitment. And how much are you committed? The Bible talks about leave and cleave. Leave from where you used to be and then cleave to that husband. So.
I did take Justin's last name, but I did I pushed my maiden name to my middle name. For me, it was more of just asking myself, is this tradition or culture? I had a roommate and I was confused because her middle name was her dad's first name. I was like, she's from a different culture. And I was like, oh, so maybe last names in American Western culture, it's not only what's not necessarily tied biblically, even though leave and cleave is definitely, but it's also tied to culture and tied to tradition.
It is.
That's definitely okay. But I think if it's tied to trust issues, that's completely different. So I had no problems losing my last name or whatever you might want to call it. But I do think that some people might think of it as a tradition thing.
So comment check.
Yeah.
We actually have one of the couples that was supposed to be on our panel, Ron and Rachel Jones. They said, we are happily married with 34 years, and Elder Rachel proposed to me. Of course, you know, I have lots more to say about this, but this snow is real in Fredericksburg. Love the feedback. Listen, when I tell y'all those are one of my favorite married couples, along with this house, like I really wish
We're gonna talk about that. I already know that.
I didn't either. Right. Yes. They got a joint Facebook. That's right there. That's important, okay? Like, man, who Facebook messaged us? You know what I mean?
That's right, us. Yes.
I love it. But that is definitely interesting. I definitely have to have them on my panel at another time because the snow is in the way. Because they have a very interesting perspective on a lot of stuff as well as a story. So we talked about the leading up to marriage. Talk about the things in marriage. What do you think is the most important thing that makes a marriage successful? So if you could give 3 things that makes a successful marriage, and it doesn't have to be all 3, but 3 things that makes a successful marriage, what would you say that it is?
Conversation. A lot of communication.
What? That's what I look at her.
Effective communication.
Yeah. A lot of
Learning the language.
Okay.
love language.
A lot of times we think we're talking, we think we're learning, or whatever. But I'm from Toledo, Ohio. She's from Dunn, North Carolina. That's 2 different cultures, and then coming into the same house, 2 different ways of living. So it's a matter of talking about the different things, the differences, and allowing each other to say what they have to say. Because sometimes we wall people off. We don't understand something, so we don't understand it. This is the way I grew up, and that's it. And we open up ourselves to each other. The communication can become high. You understand?
And I would say forgiveness. The Bible says love covers a multitude of faults. And husbands have a multitude of faults.
See, now why are we
I mean,
Are we there? Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
We can go all the way back to Genesis if we need.
Oh.
So Jesus said, God said,
Who ate the fruit?
the man. So God
Conversions. That's what I got. I don't have
they said, I will make him like somebody to help them. And so love covers a multitude of faults. And you have in your marriage, you really do have to have forgiveness and be able to just let certain things go. Some things and I say forgiveness, there'll be those things that just really grate at your nerves. And you have to get to a point where you decide, I want to forgive and I'm going to accept forgiveness and accept that. Because otherwise you would be arguing and mad with each other all the time. You would never have any peace in your home. And that's on both sides. I mean, I made a joke about men and their faults. We have faults as well. And we need love to cover them. We do have well, not as many, but we do have. But it is, I think, one of the main things, as Shayna said, conversation and forgiveness, and just let things go. Don't harp on every little thing. Some things are just not even worth effort. Just let it go and charge it to the heart, and that they didn't mean anything by it. It wasn't something that they try to turn you into something different or make a big deal about it. Just let it go.
There was a marriage seminar that we were in, and a gentleman was saying that he came home, he saw her shoes in the middle of the floor, right? He got mad. And then he just started thinking, okay, I get mad, and then I go off. I go to the conversation of why the shoes in the front room. We have an argument, right? We don't talk and all this, right? When I could just say nothing and go and move the shoes. So sometimes it's just a matter of thinking it through and looking at what's the result. A lot of times in our arguments, there's really no result in it, right? A lot of times we just need to forget.
I would say maturity. I talked about a lot that I did not realize how petty I was until I started living.
And let me tell y'all, she is the best.
Just things that you just.
She is amazing.
Shed and I, we dated for 2 years, 2.5 years, almost 3. We did not live together before we were married, and sex and all of that before we were married, and so I was very excited for us to live together. And about 3 weeks in, I was like, this just might not work. I need to find her somewhere else for her shoes and her hair. It's just really, it's just a lot, right? Yeah. But maturity, I say maturity because there are moments when you want to be upset or you have a reaction, and I always have to check me first to make sure that I am not being petty, not being selfish, not being extra, not being ridiculous. And usually that stops me from being reacting. It's like, grow up, Justin. Let's be an adult. Let's be an adult. Let's be an adult. Love your wife like Christ loved the church. That kind of thing, because it really is required. And the more often than not, when younger couples talk to me, I'm immediately pressed to say to them, are we being mature? Are you being your entire adult self, or are you being somewhat petty, like really? And that's something that I don't know that at least that I expected prior to getting married. I mean, I thought I was together as an individual, very much so an adult, but being married requires that you be an adult all the time. You have to really be
all the time.
Mature.
Well, the other thing too is that we were married for 37 years, and so we found out that we changed. I'm not the same. I wasn't the same person when I got married at 20, 25, 27, 30, 45, 50. We changed, and I think that's where maturity comes in, and we have to talk to each other to find out, okay, what's what would you like, even when it comes to sex, when it comes to going out, when it comes to everything, right? To do sort of a fact check with each other and check in with each other and say, hey, look, because, maybe the missionary position ain't working now, in other positions. I'm just throwing that out there.
What he was saying with changing, I heard somebody once kind of compared to like a car and saying that when we get married, sometimes we say, oh, this is who I want to marry, this is who I want to be with. But then they say, well, what if I asked you if you could buy one car? What car would you buy? And people would say, oh, a Lamborghini or a Porsche or something. Right. And they say, well, this car has to work for you when you're 20. This car has to work for you when you have kids. This car has to work for you when you lose your job. People say, oh, let me think. Let me get a Honda. Or let me get a. So thinking about like when you marry somebody, I need this person. Is this person gonna be the person for me when we start to change? Because you will. Will they be the person for me when we have kids? When things start to happen? When we start to lose parents or whatever that is? And that makes people think differently about who they want to marry.
Yeah. But I definitely think those are, with all of the things you said, those are questions that you have to ask on the front end. So, you know, talking about kids, so you know how you would parent together. Talking about how they handle, you know, death in family or their emotional state. Do they shut down or will they talk to you type thing? I think they're all important things to talk about. So did you all talk about these things before marriage? So like marriage counseling, and what did you get out of either those conversations? I know we got to marriage, obviously, but what did you take away from marriage counseling? So they're talking about before the I do's.
We actually did pre-engagement counseling.
Oh,
Okay, time out, pause.
Okay, go.
Okay, we talked about doing pre-engagement counseling, but we did read books on marriage even before.
That's what it was, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Even before engagement, we read different books. There's a book, we read 12 questions to ask before you marry, just to get us started about talking about conversations that that we don't want to happen in marriage and catch us by surprise. So whether it's finances, whether it's who to spend the holidays with family, just different questions to really ask each other and start deep, honest, conversation. So it won't when marriage happens, it won't catch you by surprise. So that's kind of my approach.
Okay. So for the other two, did you all do marriage counseling? Do you think it helps before getting married?
We did a lot of marriage counseling. We did a whole lot of marriage counseling. A whole lot, yes.
we did about a year and a half. We were supposed to have 4 sessions over 6 months. It turned into about 8 sessions over a
year and a half.
We changed our wedding date 3 times. Because of premarital counseling.
Right.
Because
what made you
Well, we
change
was
that?
gung ho. Like we was like, okay, we get it, and then we went to counseling and broke back in silence.
Yes, like saying nothing.
We went to a professional licensed counselor because my parents are marriage counselors, and I have been eavesdropping on marriage counseling for years. So I felt
we felt like we were ready.
We were ready, but I also felt like we needed to go to like a professional. So we went to a professional licensed counselor who did marriage counselor, who was also a minister. And the first session, he gave us a 200 question questionnaire, and we had to answer the questions ourselves, and then answer the questions with what we thought the other would say. That was
a whole problem.
We had absolutely no concept of the way the other person thought.
Right.
We was completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Right.
So what were you wrong the most about? So what are 2 things that you found out that y'all were on 2 separate pages?
It really wasn't like certain situations as much as like approaches. Like we understood the concept and we just approached it completely different. Like,
It was scary.
It was like family time, like or holidays. Like where do we spend holidays, or how do you spend time together, right, with your family? And like my family is like anybody, everybody come and let's go. And my husband's family is like they're really, really, really tight. Like and it's the crew, and they hang hard. And I was like, okay, is this okay? And so, but it's still family. Like that's the thing, and it really is like understanding that the core of the situation is the same. We have the same goal, like we love our families, we want to spend time with our families. But how are we going to do this? And that's more conversation and more listening and working through scenarios and situations. And so it just.
I think that first questionnaire we came to a complete stop because something about the questions was when you have children, will you remain employed? Like how will your household work? And she had this like June Cleaver kind of, I'm not gonna work. I'm
gonna be like a stay-at-home mom. Do that.
And I heard you say you want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Well, no, that was a joke. But I was like, you want to? But remember, I answered the question for her, so I put that she'd be a working mom. We would do it together, and she was like, no, why would I do that? And I was like, what do you mean, why would you do that? And I was like, you gonna stay at home for? You have college degrees. What are you talking about? Like, it was just like a whole, and I was like, okay, whoa.
Right.
You're not like, oh my God. Like, it was just, it really, when we had those sessions, and I mean, we moved the time, like we were doing the sessions like every 2 weeks, and we told him we need more time in between.
Right.
So we did it like every 6 weeks. Like, it really, it was a lot. And it was awesome. I mean, at the time, it was trepidation.
And have you brought some of those techniques, those, you know, things that you talked about?
Celebrate the difference.
Yes.
Was the main theme of it all. And really just embracing the differences in your spouse and celebrating who they are and who they become. Because we were, I mean, as I was talking about this, we were in very different places individually, even where we thought we were going to be. I mean, well, you know, I was a performer at that time. I was trying to be, you know, the cross between John B. Key and Pavarotti still. I still was doing classical music and gospel and all that. And here I sit as school principal and all that. She's a preacher. Didn't nobody tell me that. Didn't tell me I was the man of preacher. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that happen over the course of time. I definitely believe that time of really digging into each other and learning about how we work as individuals really helped us.
And how to communicate.
And how.
You have to know kind of how to say what you mean, but allow that to kind of evolve over time. Like, what you say really does change as you change. And what you, like you said, what you like, you know, what we liked in like 2 years or 1 year of marriage was totally different with quality time meant, because we had kids and like we didn't go out the same way, or like, we didn't just go to the movies frivolously. And so things change, and learning how to communicate through those changes is crucial, very important.
Okay, so for all three of my couples, what came up in marriage that you didn't necessarily sign up for?
I'll answer that question, but before I answer that question, I just got a caveat on the last conversation. I encourage everyone who is thinking about getting married, about to get married, please do marriage counseling. Because it is really, it's important. Do marriage counseling and talk about those things and really understand who you're marrying. As they said, why you're getting married, why you love this person. And if questions come up and you can't get it together with marriage counseling, put it on. Marriage counseling. What came up that we didn't
necessarily sign up
for? Well, the first thing that came up for me that I didn't necessarily sign up for is I found myself in Europe, in West Germany for 7 days without my husband. He was still in the United States. He sent me to Germany. He said, I'll be there when you get there. And he wasn't there when I got there. First time I had ever ridden an airplane, first time I left the country, couldn't carry my luggage. I had all these shots and everything. And I was so excited about being this rock hard, this spring, you know, not just from another little rock. Look at that. What happened?
You said it was fast forward.
No.
And that's favorite though, y'all.
don't know. And this road and this.
So y'all can you say that?
But I was so excited to be married. And then I found myself in this country. This was my introduction to the life of an army wife. I'm in this country.
You said the introduction to what?
To being an army wife. And I didn't sign up for that, but that was the first thing. Other things, you don't sign up to have, you don't sign up for the issues that you have with children. You know, you're used to going and doing all these things because you don't have them. And then all of a sudden, you have this baby, and babies absolutely require attention.
You should shake your hand, yeah.
Why
Why y'all shake your hand?
We have
I did not sign up for children.
What?
So we did that.
We wanted children. Like I wanted children, but I didn't sign up for all of the changes. It's a lot.
It's a lot of changes or it's a lot of kids?
It's a lot of changes
Both.
in your marriage.
Well, like, can you tell people how many you have?
We have 3. We have twins. We have boy-girl twins. They are 6. They will be 7 on the 20th of December, and we have a 3-year-old. And it all, even though we started with twins, and so it just feels like we have a lot. Like
12.
we
12. strong.
It started as a lot.
Okay.
We went from 0 to 2. Like,
Yeah.
And I'll say this: the things about kids, sometimes you don't sign up for kids, but it's something you should talk about too.
Yeah.
Because you get some people, some couples, they get married, and all of a sudden everything's about the child on one side, and they lose each other. They lose each other there. So it's something that should be talked about. But it also, when you're in those 9 months during that time, you have to understand that kids cannot take away from what you have in your marriage. You love them, but you don't want them to take away from your marriage. And so those are things that you don't necessarily sign up for kids. You say, I'm going to have them. You don't sign up for the bills that you have, money problems, money issues when there's not enough. I didn't sign up for that because I thought he had, he's good. He got a good job. He's going to be able to do all these things. So I didn't sign up for the financial difficulties. But we made it. And God is an awesome God.
One of the things that I signed up for, but I didn't know the responsibility. She ended up getting kidney cancer. Yeah, and that was huge. She had cancer and a baby at the same time. So I'm like, oh my God, didn't know what to do for a whole 9 yards. But I stuck through it. But it's just one of those things that sometimes things are bigger than what you are and what you realize. And you just have to realize, continue, and just trust each other.
So would you say that for you guys, it was your vows, like, for real?
For real.
So you know how they say, till to death do apart, and goodness, sickness and health, and all that good stuff. Do you think you guys had to really, you were kind of facing your vows?
Yeah, I had to sign paperwork in the event of her dying. So I signed all the paperwork when she died during the operation. So yes.
Well, look at her. She's here. She's funny. And she's good looking. Okay. For my other couple, what came up that you guys didn't sign up for? And if you haven't, that's okay too. Cause we have no. I'm just saying, like, we have different years. It has. Oh, actually,
Well, I didn't sign up for my grocery bill.
okay.
That's real.
I multiplied by 2, but somehow that math didn't work out. Multiplied by 2.
That's right.
But also just family differences.
Yes.
We come from even though our families are in the same locality, my dad was in the military, my mom's from New Jersey, his family's more from the South. So just learning some of the differences in the ways that we spend time, what your mom does and what she doesn't do, who cooks, who doesn't cook, who gets their lunches made, who doesn't get their lunches made. It just reminding myself not to let how our parents ran their house to be the way that we have to run our house.
Yes.
So yeah, that's something that I'm still learning through, especially as like holidays, and especially now as people start asking for kids. Because after you get married, they tell you don't have sex until you get married. Then as soon as you get married, they're like, we want you to multiply. Like right now, I'll have a baby.
And then once you have them, like, okay,
And then you
stop.
About that grocery bill, they said they got 3 down there. So just know, you may got to multiply that grocery bill.
I just have a how much I was. That's all.
I mean, listen. So, doing a quick comment check. This is a good one. So, quick comment check to our question of what came up that you didn't sign up for. Ron and Rachel Jones said unfaithfulness, physical or emotional. I think that's a big one. So then I have another question. We'll kind of wrap up after this. There are a lot of, with LadyT, let's talk about it. We kind of gear it towards millennials so that everybody can learn something. But a lot of people don't have the belief in marriage. They don't believe in marriage. They struggle with relationships and commitment and all of that good stuff. What would you say? Why would you say somebody should get married? So what are the, I'm going to say like, what are the, and I don't mean like financial advantages, but what are the advantages? What is your purpose of marriage? What would you say to that somebody who did not believe in marriage?
It is.
I think for
Okay.
me,
Shout out to Lady T and her team for the questions. So the positives of marriage.
yeah, it helps you grow as a person. People always say that like marriage is like a full-length mirror. So when you get married, you realize, wow, I'm selfish, or I only think about myself, or all these things. So it helps you grow as a person. You also have, of course, you have God, but you have somebody, no matter what you're going through, who is supposed to stick with you, supposed to help you out with those things. And you have somebody to spend your rest of your life with. So aside from the financial benefits or negatives, whichever way you're looking at marriage as to why you should or shouldn't get married, you just have this companion, this helper, this person who's committed to doing life with you through everything that you guys go through. I think that's
Okay, so I want to actually tag on something to that question. What is your favorite part about being married to this man?
I get to come home to like somebody who's like
Y'all should see
willing
Justin's
to-
smile is brighter in person than it is on there.
No, but I get to come home to somebody who's willing to hear everything about my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and is willing to help me through those things. And is willing to also pray for me and pray that God will help me with that. I think that also sometimes people will look at marriage as he's supposed to be everything for me. He's supposed to solve all my issues, but they're forgetting that that's supposed to come through Jesus. And once you realize that, then you don't idolize your spouse, and you don't think, well, he didn't say such and such to me when I walked through the door. But if you have the right mindset through Christ, and you're not expecting everything to come through your spouse.
I mean, my favorite part is just really, like, I consider Ashley my best friend. So it's just the fact that I get to, you know, I'm not saying everything's perfect because not everything's perfect in marriage, but just the fact that, you know, I get to do life with my best friend, whether it's, you know, just.
Because y'all been through it for a long time.
Right. But I think it's just that aspect of this is not only my wife, but this is my best friend. So that I think knowing that makes marriage really fun.
Okay. Good stuff.
I would tell that person, seal the deal. That's why you get married. You need to seal the deal. You need to put that commitment there, that you'll be there with each other through thick or thin. And it's a commitment. If you want to be with me, but you don't want to marry me, you want to live with me, you want all the stuff good, where's my commitment? Commit yourself to me. And marriage is a commitment. Best part of marriage for me is commitment. All the things I've gone through in 37 years, 2 cancers, 2 times almost really wanting to give up, but Reggie there said, no, we're not going to give up. Many times he could have left because of my illnesses, my craziness, whatever it was, but he stayed there. Commitment. And I just think that's the most positive part, because if you're committed, if I'm committed to making a good meal, I'm going to keep trying until I get it right. If you're committed to a marriage, you're going to keep trying. No matter what comes, you're going to keep trying. You get up, you try again, because I'm committed to death do us part.
And you can tell she was successful in the meetings.
She makes a good meal.
But look, imagine having a 24-hour service of friendship. Imagine that, having this 24-hour service of friendship. That's what I have here. My wife she makes me laugh, she makes me happy, and I have that all the time. And like I said, marriage is not perfect. Sometimes you say things you shouldn't say to each other, or you know, conversations don't go as good and everything. But in the end, the friendship, the making up, the friendship,
Ooh.
and all that.
Listen.
And,
You said that too? You're agreeing the making up is important?
Making up out and whatever. I have the most powerful fun with my wife. Definitely my best friend. And I grew up a military kid, so I recognize that I am easily detached from things. Not because I don't care about them, but because I recognize that being in and around somebody all the time, like I don't know where the children are that were in 6th grade with me. I went to like 7 different schools after I went to middle school, but having found Shayna, I have found a true friend in every sense of the word, and we just have fun together. I have never laughed like I laughed with her and about some of everything that really nobody else understands but us. And that's just
What's
the
the plural
greatest
version
thing,
of
you know what I'm saying? That's just us. And that is really my favorite part. We have always been able to, and we still now, be like, okay, stop, we're going to sleep because we're going to wake up late. We can just sit up and talk all night long just about everything and all of that. And so that is definitely the best part of being married. But I say get married because you want to have a full life. Shannon has seen things in me, like in my career, things that I did not see. And because she prays for me and she knows me, she was like, do this. I would have never gone into education had she not suggested that I think about teaching in a school. Just things like that that I just would never have come to on my own. It is the partnership that definitely brings out the best in what I think is both of us.
I think you have somebody on this couch who sees the outside, you know, of you type thing. So you always talk about people saying outside looking in. You got a consistent outside person looking into you and speaking life into you, and doing life with you. You know what I mean? And going the other way, can you say what is your favorite thing about the person sitting beside you? Yeah. You can only do one, because I know y'all probably have a lot of favorites, but what is your favorite thing about the person sitting beside you?
The laughter. Yeah. We laugh a lot.
Okay.
A whole.
I would say Shannon's optimism. She is able to see brightness, goodness in all situations all the time.
Mr. Reggie? Oh, let's go.
I'm sorry.
You is. She ready to say her favorite thing. I heard early.
Her humor. We laugh
Okay. So laughter is important.
Yeah.
Ms. Dorothy, it is your turn.
His faith. He believes God for everything. All the stuff that I can see. He can, I'm gonna cry now. He can always see. And he always sees, he just has faith in everything. Reggie really believes if he says to the mountain move, the mountain will move. And that's how we have gotten through all these 38 years, because I guess he's more faithful than me.
I think on the opposite spectrum, that's your trust.
That's my trust.
That
And
you
really, that's my
that
trust
to have
because
that faith.
if he has faith in it and he can see it over these 38 years, I've learned to live his faith. And just, yeah,
Okay.
let his faith take
So
us.
we've got laughter, we got faith. Justin, what is your favorite thing about Ashley?
I just think her heart for people. You know, a lot of times, you know, when I watch her, I can see that how much she does care about people, and that's really brings it back to why I loved her in the first place, just because she really cares about others, and you know, just that heart for people. So.
Okay. Ashley.
For Justin, his determination. He is very determined. Sometimes it comes out as stubbornness, but he is a very, very determined person. When he sets out a plan or a goal, he sees it through.
Okay. That is good stuff. I think we've had an amazing talk, an amazing conversation. I hope it does open up conversation for all of the viewers. And I just want to go through and thank every single one of our panelists: Shannon, Jocelyn, Mr. Reggie, Ms. Dorothy, Justin, Ashley, Justin, JR Consulting. Gotta get that straight. My producer, 50, on her birthday, producing a whole LadyT Let's Talk About It. Happy birthday. To all my viewers, Ms. Deshawn, thank you for tuning in. Ms. Donette, I see you and thank you. Courtney, thank you for keeping the whole panel's kids. There's downstairs having a whole party. Pastor Ron, Elza, Rachel, everybody who's viewing it, like I said, thank you. I'm LadyT. Let's talk about it. Oh, and 50's hand. You always gotta have a little bit.
Oh, crud.
You just press end. Just end. No, she ain't.